Hello, Caesar.
Well,
Hi, everyone.
how are you?
I'm okay, thank you. So I have a question, but I'm not sure if it's to you. I should ask this question, but still I have. Is there such a thing as a white lie?
So what?
White lie.
White lie or light?
Lie.
There is.
It's a relief because my life has been changed for a few years, I would say, and this people um, who I treat as close people, we are not at the same page anymore, and I don't know I don't know how to communicate with them because so I really grateful that my sister and my mother and my husband um, we understand each other, but with other people, other connections, I'm totally out of it, and I keep um, I would say not covering stuff, but like I keep keeping it as the way it was before. For example, I quit the job, and they ask, how was the job? And I still answering, that's okay, because I was a freelancer, and they know that I have never been under the boss or under some company, and I could keep still doing what I'm doing, and I still say that I'm doing it, but I'm not. And and I'm afraid to uh, make karma think with this line, or I don't know.
Do what? Karma. What?
Yes, to make new karma because of lying, because I'm lying. Because if I
Everybody is a white lie. I am the body. So basically, everybody is lying.
yeah,
Everybody who thinks I am the body is lying to himself. And so everything else that we say, since it is based on that original lie, it is a lie also.
yeah, that's a relief. Still
Now,
no.
now when we begin to walk on this path, so to say, we ourselves begins to lose interest in many things, right? And
Yeah,
we lose interest in people that are interested in those things that we are not interested anymore. It is normal. That doesn't mean that we reject the people, right? We don't have to be
yeah,
rude with them. We are not rude. We simply are not interested.
yes.
And you're entitled not to be interested in those things, especially if you are a spiritual seeker.
Because I think that if I'll be brutally honest with everybody, it's nobody left in my life anymore.
Yeah. We,
None
we,
of my friends, nobody.
we can be tactful, right?
Yes,
With these people. We can say, hey, hello, how are you? And we can somehow remove ourselves from that. Okay, I have anything else. I have something else to do. I gotta go. And it is true. I have to look within, right? You don't have to tell what are you gonna do, right?
yes.
You don't
Because
have.
even our Zoom sessions, I was with my friends, and um, Zoom started, and I said I need to go, and they no, let's go to bar or somewhere else. I said no, I have a Zoom stuff, and they what was in the Zoom, and to tell them that it's my guru, this is my teacher. it's it's not about imprint I afraid to be. It's about questions I don't want to answer. And I said, no, this is like work conversation, and this is totally lie. But I don't want to answer all these conversations about
There is
guru.
not,
And
you see, to be on this path and to have somebody that you can call guru or guide, and you're going to talk to this person, there is nothing wrong with that. Now, if people don't understand it, whatever people think about you, who cares? See,
I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't want to answer those questions
then don't.
about yes.
See, when I was living in Puttaparthi, not in the ashram, but okay, because you can stay in the ashram only for a certain period of time, unless you are given a room, and normally they will give you a room only if you are working in the ashram, doing some service or whatever, right? Or if you were working for organization for many years and then you are retired, and then if you have the means by yourself to sustain yourself, they will give you a room, right? So I was living like, I don't know, 200 meters maybe from the ashram, okay, having a room there. So my own brother gave me a nickname, right? And then that nickname got spread around the people there. I was called the radical because everybody will say hi, I will say hi, and automatically I will say bye, right?
Mhm.
I will not stop more than 5-10 seconds to talk with somebody about anything unless these people needed some help from my side. And if I had the help to provide it, right, I will. Otherwise, I'll say, "Well, I'm sorry, I don't know," and I will walk away. I was also very focused in what I was doing, right? I was told not to socialize, not at all, but not too much. And for me, high and by was already too much. So I will move away, right? I will move on. So certainly, when I used to, when I was not living permanently at the end, was that I was coming back home to my country and I had a job, right? And I was going to my job and all that, fulfilling my duties, but I was not interested in talking to anybody else. I was working on a shop and I was like, let's say, the person in charge to go to India, buy wood for the shop, send it. And when I was in the shop, I was taking care of things, right? I will talk to people if it was necessary. How much is this? And I'm looking for something like this, or here it is, and all that stuff. But it's just a practical mind, right? And but the rest of it, okay, the interest that I had before, they disappear. And the interest to be with such people also disappear. If I will find these people in the street, right, by chance or whatever, or they will make a phone call. You are kind. So you have nothing against this person. Hello, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, but as soon as I see the pull to be drawn into these thoughts and words and topic of conversation, I will just say, okay, it was nice to see you. I gotta go, right? I have something else to do, right? Just being myself. I will not give too much explanations to anybody. And if somebody will ask me about India, what are you doing there? If the person was really interested, I will speak about it. If there was just mere curiosity or a conversation for entertainment, I will remove myself either from the conversation and stay physically there or remove myself physically altogether, right? So, who is the doer anyway? So, whatever people think about you is not true. Even what you think about yourself is not true. So, what people see is their own mental projection, right? Mental projection about the others, mental projections about themselves. So
Yeah,
what bother, right, with all that stuff?
I'm bothering because
You
you
bother,
know I
if you bother, you lose touch with your own self, which itself is peace. So you lose your peace, or at least you believe you lost it because you identify yourself again as a person, right? And lose touch with your natural state, which is peace or silence or whatever you like to call it. So don't bother too much about that.
But it seems I got again this path. I've changed few cities during the lifetime, and every time it was the whole new page. And from the beginning with new people, I would say less about my past, but they make whole new imprint of me, which was also false. And now we moved from Moscow to small city, and I know like I have no friends here, like nobody, like just my cat and my husband. That's it. And I I went to sewing courses just to have something like entertainment or something, have a new hobby. And there are a group of women my age and older, and they are very curious about everything. And again, they ask me stuff, and I don't want to make them shocked to tell them lie, to tell them truth, I mean. But it means that I already tell them lie, and I built this whole new person that I'm not. That
Listen, when you are in these situations, look within and do what you feel is right. What you feel is right is what makes you feel in peace, right? And move on. We should mind our business only. See, other people's life is not our business. We should, as much as we can, not interfere with other people's life and not to let anybody to interfere with ours. If there is something that you can do for that person, then by all means, do it without the sense of doership, right? Just do it, right? If not, then you're free. See, you're free to be quiet. You are free.
yes, seems like 2 days ago I was in this situation, and the person asked me about my personal stuff, and I was just automatically tell lies, and then I understood that I tell it so automatically that I have no time even to prepare it, to understood it. And I saw clearly that it was automatical, but what scares me that it was a lie, because now I'm trying to get rid of all this dust and be as honest as I can, as much as I can.
Be honest, then, and that's all. Be honest with yourself first. Okay, so whatever feels good to you, whatever you feel is right, do that. See,
Even if it's a
there
lie.
is something called the voice of your conscience, right? If you keep quiet, see, the mind will merge in its source, right? And it will come when it comes out as a reply, it will be different, right? We don't have to, again, we don't have to be rude, okay, with people. And the way the people react is none of our business. It's according to their own mind, their own conditioning, as much as the way we react to things, right? So don't bother too much about that. Now, you can go anywhere. You can hide yourself in a cave in the forest, but you carry your mind with you. Even in the forest, it will trouble you. If you're in the forest, it will tell you to go to the city. And when you're in the city, it will tell you to go to the forest again, right?
Yeah,
So don't listen to your mind, listen to your own conscience, right?
but sometimes I cannot differ those things. Where when the mind is telling me to do the stuff or not.
The mind is not there to tell you anything. The mind is there to help you out with whatever needs to be done. The mind is your instrument, your servant, so to say. It's not your boss and it is not yours, much less it is yours. Sorry, it's much less it is you. Keep in mind, I am the self, right? I know what you mean. We all go through all that.
Yeah.
Not even in the ashram, surrounded with what they believe were spiritual people. Most of them were. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not a judgment, but
Yes,
I
yes.
will keep quiet. See, we will just to have lunch in a big canteens. A lot of people were there. And you will enter, there's a spiritual place. And you go to the canteen, what you hear is right? And we will sit to eat. And sometimes people that knows you, whatever, they will sit around you, they will talk. And I will not intervene unless somebody asks me something, right? You have the right to remain quiet, right? This is your birthright, so to speak. We don't have to give explanations to anyone. Only if it is the authority or something, then what to do? What are you doing here? The police ask. And you just came for a walk. And where do you live? I live somewhere there, right? We don't need to have a issue with anybody. Anybody will have an issue with you or can have an issue with you. That doesn't mean that we should have an issue with anybody.
Yeah, but during my lifetime, I keep this habit to explain myself out of, I don't know, politeness, and people are curious, and now I just don't know how to react because I don't want to explain anything, and I don't want to be rude and tell it's none of your business or something, and I
We
became
can be
stuck like,
polite. See, I will tell you, Mr. Ratanlal shared with us a story of Socrates, right?
yeah,
He said that Socrates used to do self-inquiry. And sometimes he will go for a walk and inquire what he was walking. And he was looking to the ground, not to get distracted with things. And he didn't see a big guy coming towards him. Apparently, was an important person in town or in the government or something like that. And then this man, very proud, seeing Socrates walking towards him, he didn't remove himself. The guy is distracted, but he keep on walking towards him. And then they bang against each other, right? And this man says to Socrates, "Hey, you fool! Don't you see where you're walking? See the way? Can you see where you're walking?" Right? And he said, "I'm sorry, sir." And he said, "What are you doing? Who are you?" And he says, "That's exactly what I was trying to find out. Now, if you excuse me, I would like to carry on with my search." And he moved on, right? So he was polite with him. "Sorry, sir, didn't mean it. Who are you?" "That's what I'm trying to find out. So you excuse me. If you excuse me, right, then I would like to carry on with my search. Have a nice day." And he carried on walking and inquiring, right?
yeah,
Have to be tough or even rude, only if it is absolutely necessary. But not because we have something against it. Inside we are cool, but sometimes we may have to pretend, right? We are angry, like a snake, like a poisonless snake, right? And sometimes we have to pretend to be poisonous and dangerous just to be left alone, right? Like a self-defense mechanism or something, right? So don't worry about those things. Now go back to yourself and forget all that.
yes.
Now see from where all these words and stories and thoughts are coming from. They will disappear and you will be happily quiet. Are they happy or enlightened? See, one of the two.
Mm. Thank you.
Nothing of what we think is true. Even if we think I am the self, it's not true. It's a thought. Yes, we are the self, but the thought I am the self is not true. It refers to the truth, but it's not the truth as such.
now I can see it, but only in nighttime. I see the self in nighttime when I'm sleeping, and during the sleep, I still have some thoughts, and I see the thoughts, and I understand that I'm sleeping and see what I'm thinking of. And
The inquiry, because inquiry, it seems that you are taking this seriously. And when the inquiry is done intensely during the awakened state, it carries on in your dreams. You keep on chasing thoughts in your dream. That's normal. If the mind doesn't stop with inquiry, then keep the mind active, engage in something related to spirituality. See, don't look for entertainment or anything like that. When the ego is gone, then you can do as you please. You won't be bothered, right? And you won't be affected. But if the mind wants to be active, because the mind sometimes remember the mind has three characteristics, right? And then one of them just gets activated, vroom, 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 right? What is a dull mind? Don't fight with it. If it is dull, it's dull. It will shift to another mood, right? And it will become active. So we can use that activity tendency of the mind against the mind, so to speak, against the mind, right? And then if you feel that you are active, that you want to do something, then watch a video about this subject or read a book, right? If the mind doesn't keep quiet, then fine. The mind wants to trick you. The mind is going to tempt you, see, with objects, right? The mind says, come on, what are you doing? Are you so quiet? Let's go and have some fun. See, let's watch a movie. Let's visit our friends. Let's do this. Let's go for a drink or whatever, right?
yeah.
So the mind is active. It wants to do something. Then don't fall on the temptation. The mind will create troubles, right? It will create more suffering, more misery, right? I'm telling you, been there, done that. All of us. All of us. As soon as we follow the mind, right? Its personal intentions and cleverness and all that, right? It's selfishness, basically. Sooner or later, we have to deal with that.
Yeah. Sometimes the thoughts carries away so far that I understood that mind made this only when it's already some harm, when I already start to feel bad or something, and I see what it's doing. But now it tricks me with this more lightning stuff, like something pleasant, imagination, and it's more
Ignore,
difficult.
even if the mind doesn't stop, if you keep in mind that mind itself is not real, and then you can recognize this thought as not I, as not me. If you see the mind for what it is, mind, then even if it projects ugly images, fearful images, angry images, jealous images, right? Desires and all that stuff, if you realize it is not real, you won't be bothered by it. As long as you don't identify yourself neither with the mind nor the body, which is the same, then everything is going to be okay. And all that is appearing, all these tendencies that are appearing, coming to the surface, they will weaken, right? They will weaken.
But what
The
also,
first mistake is to believe that the mind is real. And the second is that it is me. It's just thought, images. It is imagination, right? It is an imaginary entity. It has no reality whatsoever. It has no substance. It's nothing but thought.
yeah, in one hand, but in the other hand, it seems like it starts in the beginning of time, and like against it, you're nothing. He has all this power and know all your thoughts, all your habits.
The only power that the mind has is the power that you allow it to have. And again, you give power to the mind when you give reality to the mind and believe that the mind is I, the mind is you.
That's a good news.
Mm. Even Ramana said so, right? He said, what happens if the mind doesn't stop? He said, no problem. The mind must be operating on a background, right? It has to be a substratum, a stage where the mind is acting. Then ignore the act and look at the stage. See where the mind is operating. And then you look the other way. Right? That is to ignore the mind. But as soon as you start fighting with the mind, right? Being against the mind, reacting to the mind, disliking or liking the mind, right? Trying to control the mind, you are trapped because now you give reality to the mind and then you react to it. You try to do something about something that is not even there. And the one that is going to do something about the mind is nothing but the mind. Remain as the seer of the mind. Right?
That's weird.
Right. If the mind doesn't stop, there must be a seer, right?
Yeah.
Then look at yourself. The apparent seer of the mind. Until that stage, you still believe that you are the seer, right? In reality, you are what sees. What sees the seer and the seen, right? The thinker and the thought.
It's difficult to understand because like I'm sitting and, for example, staring at wall. And while I staring at wall does not stare at me back.
And why are you staring at the wall? Stare at yourself. See, try to remain self-aware as much as you can. Who is this I that appears to be living in the body or to be the body? Look at it. And from a thought, it will turn into a sense of being. Then the sense of being also will disappear, and what remains is just being, right? And then that who is that being but you, right?
So far, when I'm looking at myself, I just see attention and that's it. And
Attention.
nothing else. Attention.
Yes, keep the attention on the attention. Good. You see attention, right?
Yes.
Then keep on seeing at the attention. As soon as the attention goes elsewhere, and you notice that goes elsewhere, then see whose attention went elsewhere. Who got distracted? Everybody struggles with the inquiry. Everybody. Okay, only few people, only few. See.
Because now it seems like before it was just look forward. And now when I keep quiet and try to say attention, it seems like it switch back and nothing it.
Good.
Just background. But
When you get there, no more effort is required. No more effort is possible. See, you bring the attention back only when you get distracted. If you are not distracted, the inquiry brings the attention to I. Once the attention is on I, that's it. No more effort is required. And then this I that you're paying attention to, it will begin to dissolve in its source. As a man that is not swimming on the surface of the ocean, it will begin to sink in the depths of the ocean, right? It's not a paranoid search, right? Or a stressful search. It's a very gentle shift of attention, right? This is to love oneself, right? Everybody loves themselves, yes or no? Everybody shows love for themselves, right? The only thing that they mistake themselves to be the body. And then to love myself is to go to a spa. How you call it in Russia? To the
spa is the same.
No. You call it sanatorium, right?
Sanatory.
Right.
Yes.
You know that I was in Russia and he said, and the accommodation that they found for us was unbearable. And they say, no, Cesar, we found a better accommodation. We spoke with somebody, they have a business, and they will give you a room in a sanatorium. In English or in Spanish, sounds like a mental hospital. I say, oh my God. I will spend 1 week in the city in a room in a mental hospital, and they say it's going to be better than this. Come on. Actually, I think that was in Ukraine.
Yeah, but it's the same. Ukraine, Russia.
It was a nice place. It was a very quiet place. So what we call to love oneself is to go for a massage or to sauna and to do your nails or to treat yourself, right?
Yeah.
So here to love yourself is to look at yourself, not to love someone else. If you are in love with somebody, you can't stop looking at that somebody if it is nearby or thinking about somebody if it is not there, right?
Yeah, really true.
So to love yourself is to remain self-aware as long as you can. If you get tired, then rest, go for a walk or do something else. And when you feel again a little bit more fresh, then go on, right? Don't force yourself. We can't force this. Anything that we do by force is basically repression and control and produces a counter effect. We have to be very patient, right? We are already the self anyway. It's not something that we're going to get anew, right? It is what we are. We just don't know it. To know that we are the self, then we will have to look at oneself. And we're looking at oneself because we believe to be an individual and the self to be something else that I'm looking at, right? But the idea of being the one that is looking at the self disappears, right? And we remain as the self, which is already effortlessly self-aware.
That's the biggest hope that
Don't be passionate, don't have any hope, no need to hope, it is there. You must trust the words of the master. See, when the master says, you are the self, that is the truth, right? And they're speaking from their own experience. We must respect that, right? Otherwise, why we call him master? What I go and talk to this man or this woman, right? What is the truth? You are the self. Good, that's it. It should finish there, right? But then the mind, see the mischievous mind, yes, but, or yes, but. Right?
Yeah, it's the way it works. Yes, but even I have some question in my mind, and there was no Zoom daytime or something, and I have this question appears, and you answers me already in my head, and for that reason I don't ask you, because I believe your voice in my head.
Because the self will use anybody, right? Because you believe that you are the body, then the guru has a body. Because of that, the self will use that body, that name and form, and appear to you. Okay, maybe even if it is not physically, you remember the sound of the voice, and that voice come to your head and give you advice, right?
Yes.
That's how it works. There's nothing,
Thank you.
nobody can explain that. We can say this is how it works. How can it be explained if it happens spontaneously? There is no how. See, there is no trick, mechanism, technique, right? The guru doesn't use any technique at all.
Yeah,
Whatever
I see. It's like an eternal Zoom in my head.
it does or say or even think comes spontaneously, see, from the source, for the benefit of the mankind, see, not for his benefit. What benefit? The sage already is benefit from self-realization. Has nothing else to acquire, has nothing else to do, right? At the most, to help other people to get rid of their ego sense. Not even to attain enlightenment, because cannot be attained. We are already enlightened. The self is already enlightened, right? We only can get rid of the ego that says, I am not enlightened and I want to get enlightened. Who is this I? And first it keeps quiet. And then the thought about, I am enlightened, I am not enlightened, I want to get enlightened, disappears. And then the mind, which is a thought itself, the thought I, also disappears. And that is enlightenment. So we cannot realize the self. We can realize the non-existence of this apparent individual self, right? That pretends to limit oneself to the body, right? That gives the impression that the self or consciousness is the body or limited to it.
You keep saying that mind is, I forgot the word, projection of reality, of itself, of consciousness. Yes. And I try to understand where is the ego mind stops and reality starts, because everything is a consciousness. And for example,
you will never get any answer of your questions as far as this subject is concerned. You will never get the right answer by the use of the intellect or reasoning or logic.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mind is asking, the mind, which is the one that creates a sense of separation and differentiation, is asking, where is the separation? What is the limit? The limit itself is wondering, where is the limit? The question is, who is this I? See, we have to challenge this I, right? To question it, to doubt it. Who is it? What is it? What is this that appears in the body as I, as the thinker of the thought, the feeler of the experiencer, the knower, the doer? Who is this I? Otherwise, the mind will ask a question, it will give an answer to itself, and it becomes a vicious circle that never ends, and you will never get satisfied with any answer that the mind can provide. Even the thought about this knowledge, okay, is destroyed by the inquiry. See, the idea is to remain thoughtless, including the thought about the truth, which is I am the truth, or I am the self. The mind has to be totally quiet. Still, right?
Yes.
These are tendencies, see, to intellectualize, rationalize, see, to find answers only by the means of logic and reasoning and all that stuff. Maybe for the practicality of daily life, whatever, right? The mind is useful for that, for the practicality of daily life. But to know who we are, we don't need the mind.
Seems like I just fool myself, because every time I keep coming from the march, and every time I see the same and the same, and it's just like answer is really easy to shut up and just see. But every time is and how and what and then what, and all those questions keep arise. And
But you are waiting for the answer. Don't wait for any answer and question the questioner. See, the mind is asking questions. Forget about an answer. Question the questioner. Who is it? This is the mind already externalized. See, the mind is already out, or believed to be out and separate from the self. The mind is what appears to be a separate person, a separate individual self, whether it is believed to be the body or a soul, see, habitating in the body. There's nobody there. The mind is thought, not a self. It's a false self.
so nobody
It
there.
appears to be a self. Yeah, it appears to be, when the thought appears, everybody believes that there is a person there, and that we are that person that appears in the body, right?
Yeah.
Namely in the brain.
It means if nobody there, it means just body moving automatically, living automatically, and the thought keep coming that it's somebody in the body.
The body is moving because of the past imprints, okay, of the mind itself. The body itself is a thought. It's imagined by the mind. This is why people ask, okay, why if the ego disappears, the body still is alive and keep on performing activities? The answer is in the same way that you switch off the fan and the fan keep on moving. See? But eventually, how you call this from the fan? The blades of the fan eventually will stop, right?
Yeah.
If there is ego, the ego will keep on, see, moving the fan. Even if the fan goes broken, it will create another one and keeps on moving, see? This is the endless wheel of karma or samsara, right? Action, action, action. Because desire is what prompts an action for the satisfaction of the desire, right? More action, more selfishness. Because I believe I am the body, right? And through the senses, I want to perceive only good things. And good things are pleasantness, but it's nice. The beach or the music or whatever, right? So the mind is constantly, okay, looking for something, after something, right? To strengthen its imaginary sense of existence. This is why if you don't give food to the mind, objects to the mind, thoughts to the mind, it dies. These are tendencies. See? Even that, even what you're mentioning now, to try to understand and why, where, what, how, when, these are tendencies of the mind. See, the mind automatically gets externalized and begins to wonder. Wonder about this, wonder about that, wonder about itself. See? All this, these are the vagaries of the mind. See? These tendencies have to become weaker. How? Whose tendencies are these? Who is curious about this? Who is the who? Right?
There is a movie, Little Buddha, with Keanu Reeves, and it was a story of Buddha, and but it starts that some little boy was born in America, and monarchs realized that it was a Buddha reincarnation, and they got him, I don't know, in Nepal or in India, I don't remember. And I have this big question: if somebody get realized, it means that he will not born again, or he was never born. And so this means that monarchs, it represents the mind who think that Buddha is reincarnated, or what? I don't understand it.
I will answer to your question. Give me a second because my son just arrived and the door is closed.
Okay.
Well, there is a concept called Indra ki sir, can you open it? There is a concept called bodhisattva, right? Buddha said before he died that he will be reborn after 500 years. So these are beings that before they die, they are willing to reincarnate to keep on people waking up. Right? This is also they are avatars. So there is a forget all this is mental curiosity. I can give you the answer, right? And you will be satisfied for 3 seconds. And then another question will arise about another topic. Right?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. This is no way.
That's not the way. You're walking in the opposite direction. Yeah.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there is somebody for you to help and translate.
Okay.
There is a problem with the audio. It's not lower video replace, make, allow, recording computer, waiting, remove report. No. No, she has to ask her to go to the settings at the bottom left.
Ирина, у вас проблема с настройками. Идите в настройки, там какая-то кнопка слева. Вы как бы не разрешаете включить вам звук конференции. What button should she...
I have no idea. At the bottom left, there is audio settings and video settings. The video setting is working, but the audio setting is not working. It says audio and there is a microphone, so she may have to play with it.
Слева там настройки, аудио-видео. Попробуйте понажимать. Работает, не работает.
I am not technology expert. I am kind of a dinosaur, to be honest with you.
I think she reopened.
Okay.
She probably made it wrong from the beginning.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. I don't know if I can help from here. I can't tell. When there are issues here with the cable TV, Netflix, and all these messages, if Nancy is not here, I will switch off the TV and forget about it. I will not know how to fix it. Okay, I do something else.
So I'm the person who deal with the stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Every
I
time,
fixed.
every time I have to sign in any bank or something, oh, good Lord, it freaks me out. I eventually manage it, but see,
I keep making this stuff for my husband also. He is total fool in those things. And actually, with my family, when I was living with my parents, I was the one who make TV remote and all this TV stuff, vacuum cleaner. I even repaired the washing machine by myself. I was watching video on YouTube and I fixed it.
yeah.
Ирина, получилось, нет? Не слышно. Вы когда... Цезарь, попробуй. Caesar, can you open her mic?
Where is she?
Try to open her.
Where
Ирина, поднимите
she has
руку.
to raise her hands. I don't know where she is.
Поднимите руку, и Цезарь вам
Irina,
сейчас
Irina.
попробует включить микрофон.
Let me look for her. Irina, there she. Irina.
Ирина, вам надо поднять руку, чтобы Цезарь вам включил микрофон. Попробуем
А,
включить.
ага,
О,
ага.
yeah, it's working
Все,
now.
слышно, да?
Yeah.
Да, слышно.
Все, здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Привет, Альдина и Цезарь.
Привет.
Я в прошлый раз разговаривала с Цезарем и поняла такую вещь, что я, видимо, где-то ошибаюсь в самоисследовании.
Ирина, я
Да,
прошу
да,
короткими, потому что у меня эти бывают. Я забываю мысль. Если она длинная, я могу забыть, что там было в начале. Я сейчас короткими предложениями, хорошо?
хорошо.
Ага, окей. Caesar, last time we have a conversation, and from this conversation, I understood that I somehow do the self-inquiry incorrectly.
Потому что я, которое должно исчезнуть, если самоисследование проводится правильно, оно не исчезает.
Because this I, which while you make self-inquiry, should disappear, and it does not disappears. And for that reason, I think I doing something wrong.
Я замечаю такую вещь. Я, когда смотрю на я, и вроде бы оно начинает исчезать, сразу же появляется мысль, о, оно исчезает. И эта мысль, она как бы портит все.
So I do inquiry, and this I it seems like it's getting disappeared, and at the moment it disappears, it appears again, and it's like, oh, it's me, and it spoils everything. I cannot be still because this thought appears the moment the mind became still.
What thought? It is me, it is me.
Yes, it's me.
Okay, fine. That's okay. It is
Это
me.
нормально, это я.
Okay, now, when this answer comes, then don't raise the question, who is this me? But look, what is this me? See, what is it that appears as me or I in the body?
Сейчас, когда ты это делаешь, ну, с этим нормально, что она у тебя так всплывает и начинает там кривляться. Ты в этот момент, когда она всплывает, ты не пытайся от нее избавиться и опять уйти в тишину, а пытайся посмотреть на это я, а кто это я, которая говорит, это я, это я.
That means look at yourself.
Это значит, посмотри на себя.
The inquiry is not the question, who am I?
Самоисследование — это не вопрос, кто я.
The inquiry is look at this.
Самоисследование
Look at what appears to be I.
Самоисследование — это посмотреть на того, кто прикидывается тобой.
So bring the attention to your own self.
Перенести внимание на себя.
And the mind keeps quiet.
И тогда ум затихает.
And it doesn't say I, me.
И он больше не скажет я, мне, я.
It's very rare that we inquire once and the ego disappears.
Вообще-то это очень редко, что ты один раз решила задать этот вопрос, посмотреть на этого себя, и все исчезло, эго исчезло.
And even if it disappears, it may come back.
Даже если оно исчезнет, оно все равно может вернуться потом.
Последние дни, вот последнюю где-то неделю, мне очень редко удается вспомнить про этот вопрос. Хотя раньше не вопрос, как сказать. В последние дни мне очень редко удается вспомнить о самоисследовании. А мысли прямо заполняют все пространство.
Last week I almost has no chance to make self-inquiry because the thoughts keep filling all the room, all the space I've been in.
Good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many thought appears.
Нормально, неважно, сколько мыслей у тебя там, какое количество появляется.
Whether they are good thoughts or bad thoughts.
Неважно, они там хорошие, плохие.
As they arise,
как только они появляются,
bring the attention from thoughts to the thinker,
только появляются, переноси внимание от мысли на думающего.
which is the very seer of the thought.
Тот, кто видит эти мысли.
To whom this thought arises? To me, right?
Кому мысль приходит? У кого она воспринимает? У меня, правильно?
Look at the me, at the I.
И вот смотри на этого я, который видит эти мысли.
The thing is, you look at the thoughts that appears, they will never stop.
Come again?
If you look at the thought that arises, they will go on.
Если ты начинаешь не думать мысли, а смотреть на них, когда они возникают, они автоматически уходят.
But if you bring attention from the thoughts to the me, to the I that thinks them and sees them, they'll stop.
Вот когда, как только ты переносишь внимание от всех мыслей к тому, кто их думает, и смотришь на того, к кому они пришли, кто их думает. И вот они тогда замолкают.
Да, они замолкают.
Right.
Э, а, Но вот этот «я», он как бы звучит, он
Yes,
здесь.
the thoughts keep quiet, but this I, he remains, and he is like making this soundless sound.
Yes, yes. It remains like a sense of self,
Остается вот такое, как будто чувство себя.
Да,
because I still is Irina.
И я все еще Ирина.
So it looks like Irina is not thinking.
Кажется, что просто Ирина не думает.
Like Irina is free from thoughts.
У Ирины нет никаких мыслей.
If that thought I remains free from thoughts,
И вот эта мысль «я», эта мысль «я» остается просто без других мыслей.
it will not be able to stand, it will disappear too.
И вот в конечном итоге, когда она останется без мыслей, она сама, как мысль, не сможет выдержать, она исчезнет, растворится.
It will disappear in consciousness.
Она растворится в сознании.
And you will find that you are the consciousness itself, where the thought I or I am the body has disappeared.
И ты выяснишь тогда, что сама эта мысль «я Ирина» или «я это тело», оно растворится в сознании. Ты только тогда сможешь это увидеть.
Disappear. Sometimes my English is not 100%
Disappears. Disappears.
accurate.
Исчезнет эта Ирина. Она тоже мысль. Ирина — это тоже мысль.
The thought I is I am the body, I am Irina.
Мысль «я» — это мысль «я тело», «я Ирина». Вот это.
That means that this I is the I thought means that this I is nothing but a thought.
Это означает, что вот эта мысль «я» — это ничего более, как мысль. Это такая же мысль, как другие мысли.
The idea is to isolate this thought I from other thoughts.
И надо просто изолировать эту мысль Ирину от всех остальных мыслей.
So it becomes weaker and weaker and weaker.
И тогда она станет как бы слабее, слабее, слабее.
When it's weak enough,
И когда она достаточно как бы и ослабнет,
the power of the self will absorb it.
когда она достаточно ослабнет, сила сознания всосет ее, она в ней растворится.
At first, temporarily,
Это не происходит вот за раз, это происходит постепенно.
might arise again
И ум может снова возникнуть,
because all the tendencies hasn't been destroyed,
потому что еще не все тенденции окончательно разрушены.
or they are not destroyed completely.
Что-то остается, не все еще уничтожено.
But if we keep on inquiring,
Если продолжаете самоисследование,
the merge will back again in its source.
last I overhear you.
Mind will merge back again into its source, means by that to disappear.
Мгм. Если продолжаете все равно самоисследование, рано или поздно ум свалится обратно в источник, растворится в нем, исчезнет полностью.
Eventually, it will not rise again.
И вот рано или поздно он раз и не возникнет. Будет растворяться постепенно, и в итоге потом и раствориться окончательно.
Понимаешь?
и я понимаю, и я как бы много раз уже, много раз это слушаю, и я пытаюсь слушать так, как будто я не слушала никогда.
I understand, and I've heard it so many times, and every time, even now, I'm trying to hear it again, like it's the first time.
No problem.
Ну, нормально.
Э, И как бы все это я могу повторить слово в слово,
And all
М,
of your telling to me, I can repeat word by word everything.
Don't repeat it,
м.
implement it.
Не надо повторять это, вот как бы организуй это в себе, сделай.
Вот это
Последуй
и
совету.
в этом и сложность.
This is a difficulty to implement.
Everybody, at the beginning, everything is difficult.
У всех в начале такие сложности всегда.
Even when you're a small baby, it was difficult for you to walk.
Когда ты была маленьким ребенком, у тебя были проблемы идти, ходить.
Ну, я научилась за год ходить, а сейчас я не могу уже сделать это 2 года. Ничего, как бы тенденции бесконечны.
But when I was small, I learned how to walk by 1 year, and this knowledge I've been inside for 2 years, and
Yes.
it seems like tendency is endless.
Well, because it has been accumulated for thousands of years.
Конечно, бесконечно. Они 1000 лет там у тебя собирались в голове.
And we expect
Могут.
it to disappear in one day.
А ты ждешь, что в один день все раз и исчезнет.
Нет, я не жду, что в один день, уже много дней. Я не знаю, как мне быть, ну, проще. Есть простые люди какие-то, вот они, не знаю. Мой ум, он постоянно всем интересуется.
I don't know how to keep it simple because uh, some simple people exist which are not complicated stuff, and I'm not a person like this. I I used to put everything in logic, explain everything, and this is the issue. This is the problem, I think.
Forget about how long will it take. Just go on. Don't give up. Don't quit. That's enough.
Не думай о том, сколько это времени займет, сколько еще тебе понадобится времени. Просто не сдавайся в этом поиске, продолжай его.
Don't give room to doubt. See, I will not succeed.
И не сомневайся, что ты можешь в этом не преуспеть, что у тебя что-то не получится.
Я помню даже эту фразу, как Рамана Махарши сказал, тенденции ума, накопленные в изначальном прошлом, возникают бесчисленные, но все они исчезнут в свете великого Атмана.
I remember this quote of Ramana Maharshi. He said that endless tendencies someday will disappear in this big lightning of Atman.
Then don't doubt these words.
Тогда не сомневайся в этих словах.
Но иногда
Kevin?
я как будто что-то вот очень важное не понимаю.
It seems like I understand everything, but in the end, I did not understand something really important. The point. I don't get the point of it.
The point is to keep the mind quiet.
Вот самое важное, что вы должны понять, это чтобы ум был в тишине.
The mind keeps quiet, it merges in consciousness.
Вот ум замолкает, и тогда исчезает в сознании,
The
погружается.
tendencies are not different from the mind. The tendencies are the mind.
Тенденции не отличны от ума. Тенденции — это и есть ум.
So merging the mind in consciousness makes the mind and its tendencies to begin to dissolve.
И вот come again. Sorry, come again.
Merging the mind in consciousness makes the mind and its tendencies to get dissolved.
Мгм. Когда ум сливается с сознанием, он полностью, и все его тенденции исчезают, растворяются.
That's the only way.
Это и только такой путь, только этот путь.
This is satsang.
Это сатсанг.
Merge one's sense of individuality in the reality which is consciousness.
Сатсанг — это вот это вот склеить чувство собственного отличного «я», чувство собственной индивидуальности с сознанием.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't give up.
Спасибо, Алина.
Не за что. Не сдавайся, тебе говорят, не сдавайся.
Be patient.
Будь, как это, Господи, терпеливая.
Those who realize the self, they did so because they believed they could.
Все те, кто осознали себя, самореализовались, у них это получилось, потому что они верили, что они смогут.
In the same way, those who reached the top of the Himalayas, they did it because they believed they could. They never quit.
И вот те, кто дошел до топа Гималаев, они тоже достигли вершины, потому что они верили, что они смогут, что у них получится.
Я верю, наверное, потому что, ну, из-за того, что, во-первых, из-за самоисследования как бы моя жизнь стала лучше.
I do believe because, firstly, because of self-inquiry, my life became better.
А во-вторых, из-за того, что я как-то рассказывала Цезарю, был такой один момент, несколько часов, когда я исчезала. И
And secondly, I believe because once I have this experience when for a few hours I get disappeared as Irina.
было все хорошо, типа просто очень благополучно и правильно, как надо. И не было ощущения как сказать, полета, не знаю, в обычной жизни. Просто я ехала
Ехала где?
в электричке.
It was on a subway in a train. I was sitting and everything was so good and so clear and so I have no words for it. Like
Nobody has.
ни у кого нет достаточно слов, чтобы это описать.
Да. Но с тех пор мне кажется иногда, что это воспоминания мешают мне.
Since then, sometimes I feels like these memories also distracting me.
What memory?
Потому что
These memories of this experience.
Потому
Да?
что
Воспоминания об
да,
этом опыте, да? Yes, these
да.
memories of this experience.
Потому что ум ищет подобного чего-то, что ли, пытается нащупать это.
Because the mind is seeking something alike, try to...
Oh, that's a trap.
Это ловушка.
The mind
Да, я знаю.
the mind is seeking to experience something that it didn't experience.
Это ловушка, потому что ум ищет какого-то опыта, которого у него не было. Вот то, что вы называете опытом, это не его, это не ум испытывал.
And it rises again and claims to be the experiencer of the self, and he wants to have it again.
Он снова у вас возник и присвоил это все себе. Ему кажется, что он испытывал это вот все то, что у вас было, и ему кажется, что это его, и он себе это присвоил, и он пытается опять это найти. Но это
The
не
mind,
его.
the mind does not realize the self.
Ум не может реализоваться, самоосознаться, потому что он не является сознанием.
Mind disappears in the self.
Ум исчезает в сознании, растворяется в нем.
I am the body idea is the mind, it disappears.
Я тело, я ум, вот эта вся идея, она исчезает.
Да, я поняла теперь.
Я на оси.
Who is this I? See?
Кто это я? Посмотри. Кто понял?
The I want.
Этот я хочет.
I want
Я хочу.
this or that.
Это или то.
So who is this I?
И кто вот этот хочет? Кто он?
And then when you say who is this, when you inquire about this I, what
Когда ищешь, это я.
then want this disappear.
Когда ищешь это я и находишь его, вот этот ищущий и желание тоже, в том числе желание найти, оно тоже исчезает.
So the I is not wanting.
Потому что я — это не хотение.
And wanting means it is still.
Нехотение означает оставаться в спокойствии, в тишине.
And when it is still, it merges, sinks in its source.
Когда я ничего не хочет, остается в тишине, оно тонет в источнике автоматически.
Скажи, Цезарь, а как не хотеть, допустим, ну вот у меня есть сын, и я беспокоюсь о нем, он живет в другой стране, ему пришлось уехать из-за вот военного положения такого. И я хочу, чтобы у него все было хорошо. Я не могу этого не хотеть.
So, Caesar, give me an answer, please. How not to want to anything? Because, for example, I have a son, and he live in other country. He moved because of this Ukraine war, Russia situation. And as a mother, I automatically want for him a good life, to be happy. And how not to want then?
It doesn't
Being
matter.
a parent.
It doesn't matter what you want or you don't want.
Неважно, чего вы хотите или не хотите.
Don't expect the desire to be fulfilled. If you want something, no problem.
Если хотите, в этом нет проблемы. Просто не ожидайте от того, что все ваши желания должны как бы исполниться.
If you have an expectation, then the expectation creates the anxiety, the problem, right?
Когда у вас есть какие-то ожидания, и вот эти ожидания, они как раз-таки и создают проблемы, если они не оправдываются.
Wanting is not good enough. Trying to do something about it will help.
Хотение — это, как бы, недостаточно. Попробуй что-то сделать с этим.
But again, even if you try to do something, do not attach yourself to a particular result. Don't have expectations.
Опять-таки, если вот есть какое-то желание и пытаешься по этому поводу что-то предпринять, предпринимай это спокойно, не ожидай ничего. У тебя не должно быть каких-то заведомых результатов, сложившихся в голове, как это должно быть.
The biggest wish of saints, seers, and sages is that the whole universe experiences peace.
Есть желание у всех мудрецов и у святых, чтобы вся Вселенная была тихая, неподвижная.
I understand it must be a really even a frightening thought.
Fighting in what?
Frightening thought.
Была какая-то... Come again, sorry.
That must be a very frightening, worrying thought.
Это война, она, кстати, может быть тоже как пугающая мысль. Вся эта концепция войны — это пугающая мысль сама по себе.
To have somebody dear and near exposed to such a risk.
И переживаешь за того, кого любишь, и того, кто рядом, что он может как бы быть задействован в это, что есть такой риск.
There is nothing wrong to hope that he keeps himself safe.
Ничего нет плохого в том, чтобы надеяться, что с твоим сыном все будет в порядке.
О каком тогда желании ты говоришь, что не нужно иметь, ну, о чем тогда идет речь, когда ты говоришь, что вот это я, оно не должно ничего хотеть?
So I have now I don't understand. And you said that it's nothing wrong with hoping and wishing my son to be safe, and still this I shouldn't have any wish. So to have wishes.
Let me explain to you first what is the meaning of desire.
Да, сейчас объясню тебе, что вообще означает желание.
It's not that you want something or you don't want something.
Это не то, что ты что-то хочешь или не хочешь.
It is the insistence of wanting, not wanting, wanting, not wanting.
Это вот эта вот настойчивость, хотение или нехотение. Чувство внутренней настойчивости.
Under the false impression that if I get something, if I get what I want, or if I get rid of what I don't want, I will be happy in peace.
Вот это вот ложное есть чувство, ложное хотение, когда тебе кажется, что получив что-то или избавившись от чего-то, ты, наконец, как бы будешь спокойный, счастливый, и все, что из этого следует.
Is the expectation for a particular result, see, waiting for something to happen or for something not to happen, okay?
Ложное хотение — это ожидать определенного результата, ожидать того, что это будет определенным образом, так, как ты себе это представила.
Are you following?
Понимаешь?
Я понимаю, такая как бы, что ли, непримиримость. Вот так вот и все. Да, ну, вот типа плоха.
So I understand that with wish nothing is. Wait. It seems like this feeling of the right way is what is wrong with it. They feel it's that it should be this way.
That's an idea.
Это такая идея.
If it should be this way, why is not this way?
Если, ну, как бы должно быть так, почему оно тогда не так?
Then the conflict is between these two ideas.
Конфликт заключается между двумя этими идеями.
This is the way it is.
Это так, как оно есть,
but I think that it shouldn't be different.
и оно не должно быть другим.
Я понимаю это как бы исходя из понимания о том, что как бы все уже, ну, все так, как оно есть, и никак по-другому. Не знаю, исходя из понимания судьбы, что ли,
Uh,
предначертанности.
It seems like I understand that things the way it is because probably I do believe in fate or something, that something is meant to be is like this.
Типа как Рамеш Балсикар говорил, кино жизни уже снято, и пленка лежит в коробке.
Кто говорил?
Рамеш Балсикар.
So Ramesh Balsekar tell once that the movie of life is already shoot and the film is resting in the box.
Я спросила просто про желания, вот, когда Цезарь сказал, что не нужно иметь желаний, и поняла, что как бы не нужно такой настойчивости в желаниях, а не просто, ну, как бы просто желать, типа, ничего страшного.
So if I understood correctly, it seems like it's nothing wrong to have a wish, but what is wrong is
Expectation.
yes.
Но вот это желание исчезнуть и желание того, чтобы исчезла я, оно же тоже желание.
But still, this wish to be to have this arena to get out, to dissolve, it's also a wish.
Sorry?
It seems like also this wish of Irina to dissolve, it's also a wish.
Yes, I'm not asking you to wish anything. See who wishes.
Смотрите, я пытаюсь объяснить. Я не пытаюсь, чтобы кто-то чего-то хотел или не хотел. Я хочу, чтобы вы обратили внимание на этого хотящего.
Whose wishes are this?
Чьи это желания? Вот туда надо смотреть.
Мои.
The wishes are mine.
Yes.
Ну да.
Then from wish to I.
И вот от желания ко мне возвращай.
Wish merges in I.
Желание растворяется в я,
And then I merges in consciousness.
а я растворяется в сознании.
Вот этот момент, когда я, типа, начинает растворяться,
This moment when this I starts to dissolve,
какое-то ощущение облегчения, что ли, наступает.
I feel this feeling of relief.
Yes.
И
Это
тут,
хорошо.
и тут выскакивает вот этот ум, то, про что я сегодня говорила.
Yeah, and this I repeat myself. This mind jumps out.
Но я поняла, что, ну, как если я правильно поняла, то этот ум, он не... Что мне нужно смотреть на того, кто его видит, на того, кто видит эту мысль, на того, кто видит я в этот момент. Не пытаться уйти в тишину.
So if I get it right, it means when this this mind jumps out, when it appears, I should look at it, not to fight with it. Look at it and not trying to get rid of it.
When the mind arises, see from where the mind arises, or to whom the mind appears.
Когда ум возникает, смотри, откуда он берется. Кому он появляется и откуда он взялся. Попробуй найти, откуда он пришел.
That's the inquiry.
Вот это и есть самоисследование.
That is surrender.
И это сдача.
Я вот хотела еще сказать, что в этот момент, когда вроде бы я исчезает, выскакивает не мысль я, а выскакивает мысль вот оно, сейчас исчезнет. Типа вот такая мысль.
And also I wanted to tell that this moment when I have when I have still mind, sometimes it's not this thought I, it's another thought, oh, this is it. Like
Сейчас оно
it's
исчезнет.
it's gonna dissolve right now, this is it.
Don't believe any of that.
Не верь этому. Этому не верь.
Да,
Who thinks it's gonna dissolve right now? This is it.
Кто думает, что я сейчас растворюсь?
я.
It's a trick of the mind not to merge back into its source.
Это вот такая уловка ума не раствориться в источнике, вылезти и сказать, я сейчас растворюсь.
Я поняла, да. Спасибо.
You're welcome.
I get it, thank you.
Thank you, Alina.
Лина, спасибо большое.
Да, пожалуйста.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Hola, Claudia.
Te quiero consultar algo, César, que anoche me dijiste algo como que me hizo un clic, porque yo dije que iba a ir al lugar de origen de los pensamientos, y vos me dijiste, ir no, ver. Entonces, César, para ver no tengo que hacer ningún movimiento, porque la mente no es la que ve, ¿verdad? Al ir al origen de los pensamientos, ver el origen de eso, no es la mente.
Ya vamos por partes. Cuando se habla del origen, se utiliza la palabra lugar, ¿verdad?
Sí,
La mente lo interpreta como un lugar, como algún sitio donde tiene que mirar, ¿cierto?
sí,
Entonces vamos a analizar la parte intelectual de la autoindagación. La indagación va así: ¿de dónde surgen estos pensamientos? ¿De dónde, verdad? ¿Cuál es el lugar de origen? ¿Dónde se originan? ¿Ok? Me surgen a mí, se originan en mí, ¿cierto?
sí,
Ok. La segunda parte es, ¿en mí quién? ¿Quién soy yo? Quiere decir, si tú eres el lugar de origen de los pensamientos, tú eres la fuente. Y lo que tienes que llevar es la atención a ti misma.
Y César, cuando llevo la atención a mí misma y ver, como decías vos, de lo visto al que ve. Lo visto desaparece, el que ve desaparece y lo que queda es el acto de ver. Ver es ser. Entonces, cuando llevo la atención a mí misma, que no sé cómo, o sea, tú lo dices, pero sucede, no sé cómo bien cómo pasa, porque no es algo físico o mental, o sea, llevo la atención, se lleva la atención y ahí queda el ver, y yo soy ese ver.
Bueno, la mente se puede pasar por aquello que ve.
La mente pura.
La mente quieta.
Mm,
Si la mente se queda quieta, si el que ve se queda quieto, desaparece en aquello que ve. Y solo
bien,
aquello que ve. Aquello que ve no tiene dudas ni preguntas.
mm, bien. Sí, era eso, César, porque yo como que estaba buscando, claro, un lugar o mental, ¿entendés? Como algo igual, algo tangible, pero no, cuando yo voy a mí misma, ahí no es nada tangible, todo es,
El ser no es tangible.
claro,
El ser no
no,
es
no es
tangible
tangible.
incluso para sí mismo. Es tangible para sí mismo porque sabe que es. Es consciente de su propia existencia y su existencia es idéntica a conciencia. Existe como conciencia. Aquello que es conciencia.
Mm, mm. Y otra cosa, César, que surgió ahora, el yo pensamiento no tiene nada que ver con todo eso, digamos.
El yo pensamiento
Es,
desaparece. El que ve
el-
es el pensamiento yo. El sujeto es el pensamiento yo. Sí,
claro, pero cuando ese se hunde, César, cuando el yo pensamiento se hunde, ahí queda aquello que ve. Lo-
correcto,
la, bien.
correcto.
Ah, mm,
Ahí las preguntas acerca de esto y lo otro simplemente no surgen porque el que pregunta está disuelto, sumergido. Si no está disuelto, por lo menos está sumergido en su fuente. Si no ha desaparecido por completo, al menos desaparece temporalmente.
sí, observo, César, noto que como que el yo pensamiento es el que está, como que es el que no quiere desaparecer. Que vos me dijiste hay un apego, sí, hay un apego a ese yo pensamiento, porque todavía hay identificación ahí.
Ese yo pensamiento cae por su propio peso. Es decir, el poder de la conciencia lo va a absorber.
Sí, César, y tú ayudas mucho porque ayer dijiste algo que me llegó como una flecha también, César, que vos decías, em, si busco, digamos, la paz o placer o dolor, porque es como el caballo, ¿viste? Quiere cabalgar, cabalgar y nada. También darme cuenta que estoy buscando, ¿viste? O que quiero encontrar, César, porque ya sé que voy a encontrar ahora, a esta altura, en
No,
el mundo. Nunca lo había
en el
visto
mundo,
como vos lo decís.
en el mundo cualquier cosa, pero es transitoria, es impermanente. ¿Y para qué preocuparse por ello? Si lo agradable y desagradable se van a presentar solos hasta que se agoten, ¿sí?
Mm,
En vez de querer más cosas agradables y menos o ninguna desagradables, dejar que lo agradable y desagradable, ¿ok? Que está destinado a suceder, se agoten, se vayan manifestando, y vayan pasando y se vayan agotando.
mm.
Agradable, disfrútalo mientras dura. Si es desagradable, sí, sopórtalo mientras dure.
Sí. Bueno, César, gracias.
Ok, 4 de la tarde. ¿Alguien más? ¿Una pregunta más? ¿Una última pregunta? A la 1, una última pregunta a las 2. Entonces nos vemos a la noche. Oh, oh, eso sí. ¿Estás contenta? Bien.